Aviraj?
Hi guys, Aviraz, I'm from New Delhi and I've got agency and we are taking care of blogs for almost 100 clients and most of our clients are from India or from US.
Okay, great. Good to that you can join us. Raja,
Ramakrishnan.
Rama.
Hi everyone, I'm Raja and I'm a digital marketer from the UK. I work with a lot of different companies from SEO through to content marketing. And yeah, I think this is a fantastic tool. I really am interested in figuring out how to use Athena with the add-ons that we've recently had access to.
Great. Luis?
Hi. I'm also a digital marketer. I'm from New York City, and I also have a couple of blogs and content brands of my own that I've had the ideas for a long time, and I want to make them work, but I don't have the time. I have a spreadsheet full of topics that I want to write about, but not always have the time to do it. And I think this helped me really dive into the buyer's persona and write that content that I want to write.
Sure. Great. Thank you. Then I have L. Williams.
Yes, also in digital market, photography, and videography. Mostly my background is in the music industry. I'm basically I've been using CrawlQ to go after different niches, and mostly between the influencers and musicians, and using that as a communication piece to find certain crossroads between each niche that I can basically do video posts or video content to communicate and have that single core that could have each niches feel like I'm talking to them with CrawlQ.
Great. I think you have some digital marketing experience, but also there are some crossroads with music. So that's very interesting.
Yeah. I used to be in the music industry way back. Used to work for this major company, Bass and Distributor. Got the chance to meet a lot of executives and artists. That's actually, I met Jay-Z before he actually blew up. So it's funny how that came about. So yeah.
Great. So thanks for joining.
Thank you.
Then I have one participant with the null. I do in programming, so I don't want to do a division by null or.
Yeah, hi there.
Hey.
My name is Andrew. I'm from Ukraine and I'm doing SEO and PPC.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't really started with your tool, but I watched a couple of webinars. I simply didn't have time, but I would really need the tool for building buyer personas, for properly targeting my funnels, for properly creating my content, and building a keyword list. And I think that the tool is, for me at least, it's more interesting and more affordable than Spark Tora, which is, I think, the closest competitor to CrawlQ. And I really like the approach. I really like all the sources of information that are used within the tool. And I think it's a really powerful tool. And so I'm your dedicated customer with a lifetime deal. Thank you
so
for
much.
your effort. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So let's then jump over to the demo. Feel free to interrupt me anytime. When you start, of course, then you have all your workspace here. The entry point to the tool is always through a workspace. In a moment, I'll log into a workspace, but I'll do a general setup again. So you can see here all your workspace. I call them workspace, but you need to understand that these are segments of your audience. You can call them segments, you can call them different audiences, you can call them different part of the market, right? You can call them in a way that suits your business objective or what you are trying to achieve, right? Because you can also go from a very broad audience and then start narrowing down. For example, I can show you what I really mean by that. So let me filter on this. So suppose for the crawl, let's take the example of CrawlQ itself. So my audience can be how to find your niche. Then CrawlQ add-on persona. I'm looking for a persona which is specific to this add-on. Then I can be working with SaaS founders who are looking for growth strategies. Then I can be working with people who are in a specific industry who are looking for either go back to work or they're still struggling with the challenges of remote work, right? Here I made some in between some workspace, but you can imagine that if I'm SaaS provider, then there can be different audiences or segments of audience. For example, my audience in SaaS people might be interested in how to find product market fit, right? SaaS startup marketing for growth, Quora for marketing, Quora add-on for CrawlQ, Reddit for marketing. So you see what I mean by audience is like you have a big list of audience and not by like demographics, but you want to divide them based on the pain points, buying behavior, the things that they might be searching online, a specific story that you want to tell. Maybe some trends are going on there, which is very appealing to a specific set of audience. Maybe they are SaaS founder in the Florida only. Maybe they are people who are in a specific situation with some specific idea, but all this is still connect to your product or service, right? So you can, that's why the marketers, I'm sure they don't agree on this, but buyer persona, and you can go into detail, debate most of the time about it, but everything boils down to identifying a specific set of audience, a starting point, and talk in their language, right? You can call it like buyer persona research or ICP, like your ideal customer profile. There are subtle differences, and I'm not the right person to go into the like detailed foundation about this. But what I'm trying to explain, like in a very practical way, that you can identify different clusters of your audience based on the psychographics and not like company size or those things, because the company size, other things can give you some direction. But if you really want to create a content which they will like, share, or interact with you, you need to go a bit deeper than that. And I'm also not talking only in terms of keyword, but I also want to start with the person itself. So we want to narrow down to the person. For example, if I want to show you this CrawlQ add-on persona, and there can be, of course, many different personas I can create with that. Here you can see, because I did a pre-research. So my persona for this workspace was professional SaaS lifetime deal users who want to make money online using side hustles, right? This makes sense. And with this CrawlQ add-on, I can identify 10 more such specific personas that I can research on. And I call them my audiences, and I'm doing on top of the funnel research. So early adopters of AI in their field who desire to have more freedom, flexibility, interest in lifetime deals to lock in future cost. Magnus, the money blocker, is name of the person who will switch to full-time business looking for a scalable, easy to use AI content marketing tools like CrawlQ. See how fast I have even also come to the product itself. And also I have a persona. I'm not sure if everyone know I changed the name, Ken Mojo. Ken is also running a lifetime deal group. If you are familiar with the Ken's group, I changed the name. Ken Mojo is, I also don't know the age, but it's just my hypothetical persona. Ken Mojo is 35-year-old freelance affiliate marketer who promote lifetime deals to help his community of 9-5 hustlers to find profitable side gigs. He's now looking for an AI-based product that will help him to identify right audience the right message, and right channel to promote his side gig on Reddit and Quora. So you see how you can give some initial seeds. And this all information, by the way, is just also created by AI. So I given some initial like idea about who is my persona and the topic. And of course, I have tweaked them a little bit more so that exactly fit into this. But let all this information is an auto-filled, and that's what we have tried to achieve a lot of automation in this research, so that a lot of things become more predictive in the nature. And you can then have the opportunity, of course, to correct them. But this is how you build an audience profile, for example. And it's not like the scope of keyword, but it's really detailed, like who you really want to target. And there are different ways to identify your audience. But coming back to, like, I'm assuming that you have used before the tool. And if I can show you the process and very specific to Reddit and Quora, then let's do that. So in principle, you have your niche research, right? And then in addition, you also have your underlying Google data. That was original part already. So that is our foundation, right? Yeah, I can show you maybe. So basically, Athena is a smart AI assistant and a semantic intelligence layer between users' input and any kind of AI model, call it GPT-3, whatever in future. Our app will not be affected by any kind of future advancement or different providers. We can just plug and play any kind of model, but we have a smart layer in between. And now, when we started with market research, so that was we are feeding into it. Any type of content we create, sales copywriting, that also automatically get continuously feed into it. That's why you see like copy improves, you work more, it improves more. Then there's a section called research insights that also goes into it. We have the search intent, that is was primarily driven by Google. So we're pulling the data to Google. We add now here Quora, Reddit as well. And then you can also do any specific URL that you see contains the content related to what you want to talk. You can all feed this back into the Athena training, and Athena become more and more a smart semantic database, which can then on the fly connect your inputs smartly with the output that you are trying to achieve. But bear in mind that all the time, this fundamental niche information is always there, regardless of which data sources we are pulling. Why this is the case? Because we want to give signal to the AI model that it can understand the underlying intent for our goal. Our goal here are twofold. One is the topic itself and the audience. So primary goal is the audience, and then connected topic. And of course, underlying everything is connected with the product and service. But when Athena talks to a model like GPT-3, it gives all the relevant information, but regardless of Quora you select or Reddit, it always provides who is the audience that we are talking and what is the topic of interest. This is always primary information. Of course, there are detailed layers of information and selection, sub-selection. It's not the point of this discussion, but rest be assured that once you start working with CrawlQ, you have an audience for that particular workspace. Whatever amount of additional data enrichment we do, we still have the audience with us, the main topic, the context with us. And these AI models are also getting very, very smart. Like they are kind of getting more and more better and better each time when they roll out new versions. They can understand the task, they can understand the underlying intent. So you'll see the more you work with the system, more it get better and better because we are feeding all the time relevant information. So coming back, this is search intent. This already there in Google as a search intent. What we mean by this, like you can also, because most of the SEOs that I talked in the past, they also requested me, hey, they gave me feedback that most of the time the top 10 positions are already like too competitive, and there can be position on 21st, 30th, or 25th, that I can do some small effort and bring it to 1. So can I select ranks to, so you can easily like select. So if you don't want top 10, then you can start from 10, and of course always you're taking 10 position, you can change country. So this is Google's data is full, and when I say Google, means the main header, the main meta description. Why we, so let me be very clear here, we don't pull the original content from the site, but what Google shows in the snippets, search snippet. And this idea is very important for us because we don't want to pollute all the information that is there in those blogs. We can do it, of course, later and during the content creation, but during the initial seeding stage, we just want to take how Google has understood it, like, let me correct my English. So how Google is understanding your content, right? How Google has indexed, how Google has created their own meta description. And we want to take top 10 positions. Of course, you can choose rank, and you can always check which topic you are pulling this information. So when you click on this icon, maybe this is not best way to display it. We can improve this, but you will see that main topic of interest is here. Should I quit my job? It will, you can see in the blue line, it will use should I quit my job as a main topic of interest. And where this coming from, you can always go back and modify this if you want to change something. This is from here, and this also starts from whenever you sort of start your research. So this topic you can always change. This really drives the all information that you're going to pull from any sources. And of course, you can provide me some feedback how we can do it better. But the audience we have set up, and this main topic of interest is a crucial linking pin with all the resources that are here. So it's going to search in Google, it's going to search the same topic in Reddit, it's going to search same topic in Quora. Maybe there's an additional source that we can plug in Bing. Maybe it can be Product Hunt, maybe it can be anything else, but always the main topic is, should I quit my job? But now there's another thing that I want to share with you. It's not only main topic, but it also fire 14 different modifiers to the main topic. And that's why the data really goes into detail. Because if suppose I am searching about any main topic and I want to do audience research, I want to go a bit more deeper. So mistakes about main topic of interest, FAQs about main topic of interest, dreams, desires, suspicion, fears, failures, and more, right? So there are 14 different modifiers. So it will be like, you see this here, main topic of interest was, should I quit my job? So failure, should I quit my job? Or should I quit my job, failure? Or should I quit my job, mistakes? Should I quit my job, desires? These are all relevant kind of, you can say, factors or psychographic factors that you will do when you do any research. You will go to Google, you will open each page, you will modify your main topic and try to figure out all this. Now imagine that all this is done in the backend. It's all your research effort that you will do manually going to Google and try to understand is done in the backend. So it's doing in the backend a lot of effort to bring all this data that you would have done like yourself during the research and taking notes. Similarly, it will do the same thing on Reddit, same thing on the Quora. It will pull all the questions and also fill some answers, pull some initial answers, and based on those answers, try to fill the remaining answers using already the research that we have. Reddit, it fetch exactly according to the information that we provide. Now, in order to pull this information, you just need to click this. When you are not subscribed, it also asks you for subscription. When you do subscription, you use this in the same way as this resource is being used, right? And if you only thinking, okay, I wanted to just use Reddit, don't worry about it, because you can filter the sources later, and I will show you where and what is the best way to use this information. So far, so are we good, or I'm taking long time?
No, very good. Keep going. Very
Okay,
interesting.
okay, good. So I have trained this, and whenever you also have the opportunity to add a specific URL, you can add that URL, and it will appear here in the trained URL. For this workspace, I did not do that, and I've trained it already, so I powered it up. Now, the moment you say see a message here, training successful, you can immediately go and see this search Athena. This Athena search is a powerful because this is kind of almost like a search engine that you see like a Google. Is not like looking that fancy right now, but this is where all the information is there. And now if you wanted to do a bit more better, then you can click this CrawlQ search and it will open in a separate tab. So my main topic was, should I quit my job, right? That was my main topic. That's what I searched around. And I have not selected any filter. So let's hit and what comes out from this. Looks like I have to start this meeting again in 10 minutes. I had my subscription ended for June. So what should we do in that case or meeting stop? Shall I create already a new meeting and send in the chat? Will that work?
Yeah, sure. Well, what do you need to do?
Yeah, just quickly explain me and then I'll do this too. So you see, should I quit my job? Data from market research. There's a big information coming from Quora. Then there is information from Quora, There's information from Reddit. I'm looking for advice. However, please don't be mean to me, blah, blah, blah. So it's a kind of a conversation or a comment that is posted. You see these sources popping up, right? You can also make a filter. Suppose you only want to see source from Reddit, then you can search and all the source from Reddit will be shown here. So these are all the sources, all the information that is coming from Reddit, right? Now you can see that when we start feeding this information based on the top relevancy, so all the time we are feeding top 3 information into like Athena is supplying this information along with the additional context of our target audience research. So then AI can go through this information and extract the meaningful intent, pattern, and something that is relevant for the audience. So you can see the power of just Reddit and Quora, because it's kind of information that is currently happening and it gives more better example. And if I filter only on the Google, then you see the information is kind of saturated, or maybe it's more generic information, right? Quitting my job, should I quit my job or should I resign? Quitting job, more than 60% Americans say using a job offer from another company for the sole purpose of receiving a salary increase is ethical. So my audience might be interested in discussing this, but you see this all search intent that you see is coming from Google. And now if we are adding Quora, Reddit to it, then we are really exploding the intent, context, and also the richness in the data, right? Now, it's not necessary that all the time you would like to do this setup, but you can filter, like I wanted to select all the best information from my market research, then from Google or Quora, or alternatively from Quora, Reddit. But this is how I'm going to show you like how you do it in the actual content creation. So Mark, you asked me a question in the beginning. Is it like somewhat bit more clear to you? Like now, do you see like how we can search the content that is coming from?
Yes. So I've always understood, I saw on one of the videos about checking the data set, I suppose, by doing that search.
Mm-hmm.
And I suppose then if you're generating content, you won't necessarily know if the new modules have input into it, because it's just in a big melting pot of background data. Is that right?
You're right. Is in the background, there's a lot of data is getting collected, but you need to learn a little bit like what is your goal of the content, and how you should filter this information for that specific content, right? Does that make sense, what I'm saying?
Yeah, so when we're because these are a monthly subscription to these, so would that mean that you would change the search intent every time you wish to create a new piece of content? So should I quit my job, you'd write some articles around that, but then if you want to write about, I don't know, how to start a business, which would presumably be the next logical thing, would you then change the search intent completely and then re-power up Athena?
No, basically search intent will remain same, right? You will be creating, because if suppose you have different workspaces, right? You might be creating different audiences, so you will be using it continuously, right? And in the same topic, for example, you see some interesting things are going around, you can change that main topic, and then you can see that you are talking to the same persona, but you can vary the intent. And that's exactly what you are, I think, implying as well, that would you change that search intent? Yes, with this process, you can change that search intent, because you have created a structure for a specific audience and persona, right? And that audience and persona, next month you can find a different talking point, or you can find another talking point.
Yeah, I think what I'm just trying to get my head around is, with it being the monthly subscription, if you don't press the power up button, does that mean you're not really making best use of that monthly subscription? Because once you've done it once, it's gained everything it needs to for the search intent. So is it a case of every month I should push the power up button to refresh the Reddit and Quora data set?
Yes, every time, because that's how the Athena is designed. It do not, like, you need to power it up to get back all the latest information or refreshment.
I suppose because Google's relatively static, you do that once,
yes,
and it's kind of got everything. But my thinking is, or I suppose my question is, because I'm not that familiar with Reddit and Quora, but it seems to me that they would change on a more regular basis.
Yeah.
So you're recommending every time you're coming in to create some sort of content, hit that button to refresh and get the latest stack of data. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
I'll come to this and I will answer in more detail. I dropped the Google Meet in this chat, so we may be dropping off from this call because of this. I did not subscribe to this. I forgot before starting meeting. So you see a Google Meet link already there?
Yes, I see it. Yeah.
Yeah. So please join this when we got disconnected from this call. Is that okay for everyone?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Thank you.
Okay. Let's continue this discussion. I'll answer it more in detail. There are a few things that I want to discuss about Reddit and Quora, and then this will become more clear, your question.
Before we just jump ahead to that, is it all right if I just continue a similar question in relation to
Sure.
One of the things that I wanted to essentially automate or try and improve with my marketing is around cluster content. So for example, if there is a seed keyword, which is your seed intent, and let's call it, I don't know, how to lose weight with keto, right? Let's just say that's like the main topic. Now, there's a lot of things and a lot of alterations and various other clusters that kind of connect to that first topical vector. And one of the things that happens is that you have things like, people also asked or say Google suggested questions and things like that. And what I'm trying to do is to almost choose like 5 clusters or 5 topics that is involved in a niche, which is usually used to create like a skyscraper type of content, which is essentially a very, very, very long and detailed informative type of piece, usually within like about 5,000 to 6,000 words, if not a little bit more, with all sorts of embeds of videos and graphics, etc. So my question is there a way or a process in which we're able to use Athena together with Quora and also Reddit is if I was to enter a seed keyword, such as how to lose weight with keto, would it pick up other things and other topics which are connected to that? As time goes on, you can keep pressing the power up button or something along those lines. I essentially want to flash out all the available topic pieces that is connected to that original seed keyword question.
So let's take this example. Should I quit my job? That was not even referring to LTD or anything. But then because of my niche research, it says how to make money as a freelance using LTDs, the best way to earn money through blogging using AI tools, online business building using LTD tools, how to get extraordinary results at low cost using LTDs. These are all interconnected topics.